Thank you, Chairman. First of all, I will thank the Tunisian Society of Cardiology and Cardiovascular Surgery and the Tunisian Organization of Cardiology and Cardiovascular Surgery for inviting me to talk about a challenging approach, nutritional approach, that is IAF. How must I do to advance? No conflict of interest for me. I would like to talk about this intermittent fasting and what's proved about these subjects. My talk will be divided into 3 parts, as you can see them. And first of all, I'd like to talk about when time matters, circadian rhythms, and food intake. In 81st scientific session of American Diabetes Association, Professor Dorothy, specialized in nutrition, pointed out the fact that American people are eating late into the night, as we can see here in dark part of the circle, and more than 15% of American people eat over 14 hours as well. So there isn't a last period for digestion, the rest period for digestion versus a huge period, as we can see here for eating in this red square. As you all know, that the more people eat, the higher insulin is. And this fact leads to a phenotype of fat storage and weight gain. So this lets me talk about the circadian rhythms, as we all know, that are entertained by light peripheral factors, light, food, activity, and sleep. And when the food intake is out of circadian alignment, thus this fact leads to disrupt the clock system and the gene clock, as we can see here, and may lead to the appearance of many diseases, chronic diseases like cardiovascular diseases, inflammatory, metabolic, diabetes, cognitive impairment, and other, and so on. In fact, the premium movements for this circadian rhythm is balanced by the intervention of 2 hormonal systems, insulin and melatonin. Insulin for day and melatonin for dark. As we can see here, when melatonin is over the peak, it will slow down insulin secretion. And this harmonious, I can say, the scenario of harmonious orchestral organization is responsible for circadian regulation of glucose, lipid, but also energy metabolism. This lets me to talk about now evidence supporting food intake timing and health outcome. As we all already say, and in light of why I said earlier, this alignment between meal timing and circadian rhythm may lead to higher odds of chronic pathologies like obesity, hypertension, metabolic syndrome, and pro-inflammatory states. In other words, as demonstrated by many publications, that when we eat a greater amount of calories after 6 p.m., this fact is associated with higher glucose, insulin, and insulin resistance. The same for women. The same fact for women who consuming more than 30% of daily calorie after 6 p.m. This fact is associated with 23% greater odds of having hypertension and 19% greater odds of having pre-diabetes. Now let me move on the principle, on the main part of my talk, the benefits of time-restricted eating, TRE, the prototype of intermittent fasting, which is the realignment between food intake and circadian rhythm. Thus, clock is considered actually as a therapeutic target for clinicians, and the question raised here, not only what to eat, but also when to eat. So IF is a dietary intervention similar to caloric restriction, as it utilizes the principle of restriction food intake. However, it focuses on the timing when one consumes meals either within a day or within a week. As we can see here, many definitions, many publications, many books are published these last years, but the three most famous models of intermittent fasting is first of all IDF, which means fast feast day. In the fast day, we eat less than 500 calories. In the feast day, we are ad libitum. The 5-2 diet with two fast day, less than 1,000 calories per day, and the other 5 days are ad libitum. The most popular one is TRE, which means eating fasting window. This is an example for the most popular one. 16-8 with 8 hours of green windows. We can eat ad libitum or restricted calorie. It depends on the type of IF, and you have 16 hours of fasting. It may be more or less 18 or 14 hours. It depends on your type. So this leads to me to, in fact, intermittent fasting is the concept of transforming the three meals, traditional meals. Instead of consuming the 3 traditional meals, we will extend or prolonged the fast window. So we will create a state of fat burning. And this is this fasted state will be characterized by the insulin drop, as well as glucose level, as well as an oxidation of fat, or burning fat. So IF is considered as an intermittent metabolic switching or glucose ketone switchover, because during fasting, when glucose is exhausted, fatty acids and ketones becomes the main source of energy of cell. Through these specific mechanisms, IF will promote fat burning and production of beneficial ketone for all organs, blood, hormonal system, liver, intestine, skeletal muscle, brain also, and the pancreas, adipose tissue. But today we will focus on cardiovascular system and cardiovascular factor risk. In fact, upon this new publication, intermittent fasting is emerging and controversial diet. This strategy hold promise for cardiovascular health, but the evidence is still limited and lacking long-term studies. As well as caloric restriction, intermittent fasting, as we can see here, share many positive outcomes with caloric restriction, but the positive outcome of IF fasting outweighed the caloric restriction by far through the three specific mechanisms that centers on time restrained eating, promotion of ketogenesis, and linking with circadian biology. So when we combine the two nutritional approach, will have an optimization of healthy health in particular. So IF as well as caloric restriction have a benefit effect on reduction of weight, as we can see here, by 4 to 6%, depending on the type of intermittent fasting. But not only body weight is concerned, also weight circumference, as well as fat mass. As we can see here in this meta-analysis, with a low heterogeneity between the studies and significant results. The same finding concern also systolic and diastolic blood pressure, as well as lipid profile, as we can see here in this review. But for triglyceride, HDL, the benefit is positive, but for LDL is also up to now controversial. In fact, this wonderful trial published in 2021 has pointed the relationship between IF and the type of IF on LDL. And as we can see here, IF didn't change LDL at all here. In the white square versus a significant reduction in HOMAR, the index of insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome scores. In the other words, and besides these results, there are many publications pointed out the correlation between IF and A1C. For example, each 3-hour increase, like in this study, in nighttime fasting duration was associated with a significant reduction by 20% of elevated A1C. This is spectacular results. Besides, longer nighttime fasting duration was also associated with significantly a reduction of CRP when women eat less than 30% calorie after 5 p.m. And this is very important. As for cardiovascular mortality, stroke, myocardial infarction, and heart failure, we don't have up to now trials reported long-term cardiovascular outcomes with IF compared to CR or combined with CR, and we need more large studies focusing on these patients with cardiovascular disease or diabetes. In conclusion, the challenge of IF, and can we answer in this question, IF, does it fit for all? We can respond yes, but as we all know, TRE is a promising dietary approach, improving body composition and metabolic health while maintaining muscular function. This is very important, the preservation of muscular function versus caloric restriction in both normal and overweight individual, but it's still challenging. Excuse me. There are many puzzle pieces missing of TRI as a long-term weight loss strategy in overweight and obese people, and that's why we need more and more well-designed sample studies to ensure the scientific, objective, and reliable conclusion. We finally believe that there is no one-size-fits-all approach to a healthy lifestyle, and to have successful eating plans, you need to the individuation, and we need to take the whole person into consideration. And when we will start a new diet plan, please consult a healthcare provider or dietitian, especially if you have a pathology or a chronic disease. Thank you very much.